Hey guys, welcome to another video. So in this video today we've got Syeda, and Syeda's come all the way from Birmingham, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so she hasn't ever driven in Wolverhampton before, yeah? And she's never driven this car. She's been having lessons from obviously instructor in Wolverhampton, in Birmingham, sorry, yeah? So tell us what's been happening with your driving.
I failed 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
Okay. And
last one was January 2019.
okay, so not too long ago, yeah?
Yeah, it's just 2 major serious fault.
Okay, so you know on all of your tests, was it the same kind of thing or was it always different things?
Different things.
Okay, so on the last one, what were the 2? You said you had 2 serious faults, yeah?
Yeah,
what
planning
were they?
and awareness.
Planning and awareness? Were they both on planning and awareness?
No, and one is judgment as well.
Judgment, when was it? When you were entering a roundabout or when you're coming out onto the road?
It's dual carriageway, so.
Okay, so what was it? Changing lanes or?
Yeah, right turn.
Okay, so you were turning right, yeah? And you were you changing lanes?
Yeah, I went to the wrong lane.
Okay.
It was a 2-lane dual carriageway.
Yeah.
So I went to the wrong lane.
Okay, so when you said you went to, were you driving in the wrong lane, or was it that when you were changing lanes you didn't see a car?
Yeah.
Okay, so your judgment.
Yes.
When you were changing lanes, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so the planning and awareness, what happened on that one? What did they say there?
Basically it was parked car by the road, and I went too close to the car. It's just a little bit gap, and examiner holding my steering. So.
Okay, was there another vehicle coming from ahead?
No, it was parked car.
Okay, so your planning and awareness is
Yeah.
normally under clearance, that is for instructions. Okay.
Traffic it was as well. So.
Okay, so personally, what do you feel about your driving? Is there any area that you think you need a lot of work on, or?
I don't know.
Okay, so today we just want to treat it like a test, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll see where your faults are. Yeah.
Alright.
If there is, what we'll do in this video, yeah, rather than just having the video all about your faults, if you do find there's a major fault that keeps happening again and again, we can stop the mock test, and I'll help you improve that area.
Okay.
Okay, if there is something. Otherwise we'll just continue as a mock test. Yeah. For this, we're not gonna use the sat nav today. Yeah. Okay. But I will make you follow signs. Yeah, because that's another thing. Yeah. They can do on the test. Yeah. Right. Okay. And guys, remember, just before we start the mock test, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so the show me tell me questions. So you've been for your test 4 times, you said, yeah? Yeah. Okay. So the show me tell me questions, you should be okay with those?
Yeah.
Yeah. So firstly, could you tell me how you know your head restraint is adjusted correctly?
It should be in the middle of the head.
Yeah. You know the reason why I've asked you that?
Yeah, it's not correct.
Yeah, so let's sort that out.
I don't know.
So there's a button on the side, yeah?
Yeah. On
this side, on the left hand side. Yeah, if you push that in and just push the head restraint all the way down.
I don't know. No.
Just on the side there. Okay, so if you move your hand, I'll do it. You see this button?
Okay.
Yeah, push that in for me. And from the top, push it down. Good, yeah. Keep that pushed in and push it down for me. Yeah. That's it?
Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah, good. You're answering the question correctly, so just answer the question again, please. So how do you know the head restraint is adjusted correctly?
You have to straight, middle side is straight by the eye.
Yeah, level with the eyes, good. Yeah. And anything else?
You can feel it, the head is straight.
Yeah, just make sure it feels it's at a comfortable position.
Comfortable position.
Okay, right. So when you're ready, start the car for me. And again, forgot to mention, well, like we do in the other videos, when you do a fault, I won't stop you or tell you did a fault here, okay? But in the video, I will edit it and put the faults on just before they're about to happen, yeah? Okay? But like I said, if there's a fault that keeps happening and you need help somewhere, that we could help you improve, because we don't want you to fail again, yeah? So we'll stop and we'll sort that problem out, yeah? Okay? Right, ready?
Yeah.
So I'll move off whenever you're ready, please. So just as we move off, Syeda forgets to put the handbrake down, and you'll see us have a conversation in a minute now where I ask her what kind of car she's learning in,
and she tells him it's a car with an electric handbrake, so therefore she'll be not used to using this kind of handbrake.
That's the handbrake still on. That's it. Okay, if you could take the next turning on the left, please.
At the end of the road, as she's turning left, her position slightly too far to the right. She should be steering a bit more to the left and following the curb a little bit closer.
So what car do you normally lane in?
What car?
Yeah, what type of car is it? What model is it?
I think it's BMW.
Oh, okay. Has it got the same kind of handbrake, or has it got electric handbrake?
Electric one.
Electric one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The traffic lights turn right.
Right turn at the light, Syeda positions her car really well. As we turn into this road, you'll see that Syeda hardly checks any mirrors. It's important to check your mirrors when you enter a new road as you build up your speed. She also gets a bit stuck with her gears, which isn't a massive problem because she does sort it out in the end herself.
Is it third gear?
Not at the moment.
It does go too fast here, so the speed limit is 30 miles an hour and Syeda is almost driving at 35 miles an hour. So I do come in and tell her what the speed limit is, so this would be a serious fault for driving too fast.
Okay. The speed limit here is 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
From here now, if you could follow signs to Warsaw, please.
Is it third exit?
Yes.
Turning right to this roundabout, she does forget to put her right signal on. So this would be a serious fault. You can't forget a signal at a major roundabout like this. There's a bit of hesitation at this roundabout, so there were a couple of gaps that Syeda could have taken, but she doesn't. once she's into the roundabout, she checks her mirror as well and comes off in the left lane really good. In left here, Syeda doesn't check any mirrors, and she also drives on these hatch markings. These are supposed to be kept clear, so she shouldn't really be driving on these. Going on to this dual carriageway, Syeda forgets to signal right. Joins the dual carriageway, again you'll see there are no mirror checks as she builds up her speed. At this roundabout, she starts off with a good position in the left lane, but once she enters the roundabout, she goes over to the right hand side quite a bit, so this would be a serious fault for lane discipline. She should stick to her lane to the left. And you'll see the braking's a bit sharp here.
Yes.
When she enters this roundabout, again she steers slightly over to the right. It's not as bad as the previous roundabout, so it wouldn't be a serious fault, but still a driving fault. On the dual carriageway, her build-up of speed is really good, but again you'll see there are hardly any mirror checks. This time when we're going straight ahead at the roundabout, Syeda keeps her position really well in the left hand lane.
Okay, follow Syeda to Wolverhampton now, please.
And again, hardly any mirror checks here.
Stay in the left lane and follow the road to the left, please. After this turn, stay in the left hand lane, please.
Syeda deals with this turn on this sharp left bend really well. So we've been waiting at these lights for about a minute, and when you move off, you should always check your side mirrors to look out for cyclists that could be coming through the gap on the side. But you'll see here as we move off, Syeda doesn't do any mirrors again. We're coming up to a hazard where we have a kid on a bike, and Syeda deals with this really well, even though she's not too happy with the situation.
This way?
Yeah.
Downward?
Yep.
Sometimes I get confusing on these crossroads.
Okay. It's fine to ask, obviously, about the direction. If there's anything else you're confused about, we can talk about that later, yeah? We'll see how you do anyway.
As we're waiting to turn right at these lights, Syeda explains that sometimes she gets a bit confused about these turns, but she does deal with it really well.
The roundabout, if you could turn left, second exit, please.
At this roundabout we're turning left, second exit, and a lot of people do get confused here about which lane to choose and about their signals, but Syeda does that part really well. But again, you'll see here there are hardly any mirror checks, and she does drift over slightly to the right hand side again.
I don't need signal.
Sorry?
I don't need signal.
Can't really tell you that, can I?
The second exit.
At the roundabout, I'd like you to go straight ahead, second exit.
There is a fault for awareness and planning. As you'll see, there's a keep clear sign in the road, and Syeda stops the car on there. It's only for a few seconds, so it's just a driving fault. So far, when going straight ahead at roundabouts, Syeda's lane discipline hasn't been the best, and this is a big major roundabout, and I am expecting Syeda to make a mistake, and I've got my right hand ready just in case she starts to steer over to the right hand side like she's done at the other roundabout. But guess what? She keeps her position really well, and she even does her mirrors and signal at the perfect time. So she just shows us here that she actually has got the knowledge of how to stick to a lane.
The roundabout, go straight ahead, first exit.
And again, at this roundabout, Syeda keeps her position well and sticks to her lane. We're on a dual carriageway, and I asked Syeda to turn right at the traffic lights, and she starts to ask me, do I need to go into the right hand lane? Obviously I don't help her because we're treating it as a mock test. She does go into the right hand lane, but because she questions it, it may be something that Syeda's not too sure about and might need a bit more practice on.
And the traffic lights coming up, turn right.
She can choose right lane.
It's up to you.
When she stops the car here, the back of the car is blocking just a bit of the pedestrian crossing, so this would be a driving fault for awareness and planning. When turning right at these lights, Syeda does well to notice the traffic light changing. A lot of people just see the green arrow and just continue going.
You can take the next turning on the right.
When turning right, Syeda doesn't straighten up her steering in time, and her car ends up on the other side of the road a bit, so this is a driving fault for her steering. Also, these new speed limit signs as we enter this road, 20 miles an hour, Syeda doesn't notice. You'll see shortly that she's speeding. Here Syeda is driving around 25 miles an hour, so I just ask her to slow down as the speed limit is 20 miles an hour.
Okay, you can slow down a bit. At the end of the road, turn left.
Now this is a really steep junction. A lot of people end up stalling and rolling back and messing this junction up. But I was impressed, Syeda did this really well. Even after this junction, you know, when we build up our speed, people normally start to change their gears too early. On a steep hill, as you're building up your speed, you're supposed to change your gears a bit later than normal, which Syeda does really well. When turning right here, Syeda steers too early and cuts across the other side of the road, so this is a right corner cut fault.
Just park on the left, please. When you're ready.
When stopping here, Syeda does well, but when we move off, I think she's too busy doing her checks. She doesn't realise how close she gets to the car in front. We're actually about to hit it, so I had to grab the steering and just steer away. This was a definite serious fault for clearance. Here I asked Syeda to pull up on the left again, but this time I wanted to carry out the reverse parallel park manoeuvre.
Thank you, that's fine. And here now if you could do the reverse parallel park manoeuvre, yeah, using this car. So pull up next to it and then just reverse back here. Okay, but I can't length away.
This one, press down and then reverse.
No, there's a button at the front, this one. So before you start it there, you want to just practice that for me. Okay, so just keep the clutch down for me.
Yeah.
Put it into neutral. Now pull that button up and to the left. That's the only makes that noise, okay? Yeah.
So when she does this manoeuvre, positioning wise, she does it quite well. She ends up nice and close to the curb, but she does make a couple of faults while she's doing it. I'll talk you through them as she does it now. So if you look at Syeda's steering here, she dry steers. So basically what that means is she's steering while the car's stationary. This isn't good for the tyres or the steering, so you should try and steer as you're moving. But the serious fault that she does here is her observations. So as she steers to the left and then moves off, the front of the car swings out. This is where it's really important to do your observations, and one of the most important checks here is your right blind spot, and you'll see she doesn't do it at all.
Okay, and move off whenever you're ready, please. At the traffic lights, turn right, please.
We're turning right to these lights, and as you can see the lights are green, so Syeda can just carry on, but instead she decides to stop. And then when I tell her to go, she's in the wrong gear, so she ends up stalling, and we're in a really awkward position, and by the time we do get going, we obstruct the traffic on the right. So this was a definite serious fault.
Carry on. You can keep going. Go.
Oh.
Get gear 1, please. Okay, restart the car. Okay, carry on. Okay. Stay in the right hand lane for me now. Go on, keep going. Carry on. That's it.
Because of the previous fault, we had no choice but to go into the right hand lane. So when it's safe, Syeda should come over to the left. But when she does decide to come over to the left, her observations aren't correct, and she tries to move over when there's a car behind us trying to overtake on the left. So again, I come in, and this time I hold the steering again and keep her in a lane until it's safe to move over to the left. So this was another serious fault for her observations when changing lanes.
Come over to the left when it's safe, please. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Okay, and now carry on.
We're coming up to a situation now where there's a car blocking our way a little bit. So as a driver, Syeda should just ease off the gas and just approach it with a bit of caution. But Syeda just rushes into it a little bit. Again, there's not much danger, but I think overall this is what's wrong with the driving. She doesn't assess the hazards ahead, and she just rushes into situations. Now we're getting back to the test centre, where we'll discuss all these faults and give Syeda the advice on what she needs to do to improve her driving.
And if you could just park on the left. Okay, and switch off the engine. Okay, how do you think that went?
I don't know.
So, how do you feel? Do you think it was good, bad? Would you have passed? Would you have failed?
Fail.
Failed, what for?
It was the right turn on the dual carriageway.
Yeah. What did you do wrong there?
Gear.
It wasn't just the gear fault. Obviously, in the end, because you stopped, we needed gear 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, but did we need to stop there?
No.
Why not? So why didn't we have to stop there? You started looking to the right.
It was a giveaway line. So
okay, what was your giveaway light?
No.
What was the control by?
Traffic light.
Traffic lights. What colour was your light?
Green.
Yeah. So if your light was green, what colour light? What's the colour of the lights on the side?
Red. Definitely.
Red. Yeah. So you understand why that was. Why I had to ask you to go there, because we were like kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So I had to ask you to go, and then when we did decide to go, we took a long time, and the other lights changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as soon as you did that, obviously I asked you to come into the left lane when it was safe. Yeah. You did say at the start that your lane changing.
Yeah.
That's happened on your test as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about that lane change. How do you think you could have done that better?
I check mirror first, and when I see my back car is far away, then I take a left lane from the right to left.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, but
when
obviously
I feel safe.
Yeah. Okay. But this is something that's linked with your overall drive. Like overall, your driving wasn't that bad at all. It's like towards the end you did those serious faults where I had to hold the steering. Yeah, but before that, the main fault you were getting was your speed.
Yeah.
Driving too fast. Yeah, all the other faults you can have a look look back at the video and have a look at the minors. We won't talk about all that. But your main thing was a few times I had to come in and ask you to slow down, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 30 miles an hour. You're doing 35 at least twice. Yeah. Then on that road that was, the one with the speed humps.
Yeah.
It was 20. Yeah. On that road.
Okay.
Did you see the 20 signs?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were doing 25. And ask you to slow down again. Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't realize that. So that was one of the things. Yeah, just too much speed sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, which doesn't really help with that planning and awareness. Obviously, you don't want to be driving too slow. Yeah. You weren't too slow anywhere, but sometimes it is a bit too fast for situations. Yeah. Okay. So one thing I would say that's going to help you there. So when's the last time you did your theory? A long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah. What you need to do is, obviously you're not going to do your theory test again, yeah? But what will help you remember the hazard perception clips?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's the thing that you're not doing in your driving at the moment. Yeah? You need to be looking ahead for any hazard. Yeah? And you're not doing that. Okay, so obviously when you're doing your hazard clips on the computer, what do you have to do? You have to click every time you see a hazard.
Yes.
In the car, every time you see a hazard, check your mirrors and just ease off the accelerator a little bit. We're not doing that at all. Yeah? There's a few hazards I saw and I thought, okay, she should be coming off the gas. Off the accelerator, but no, you were still just rushing into then braking. Even when you're coming up to roundabouts.
Yeah.
When you see a sign for a roundabout, just off the gas. Yeah, I'm not saying brake, but just come off the gas. It gives you a bit more time to plan.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's missing from your driving.
Right.
Okay, that's one main thing that's gonna help you. And the other one was your mirrors in general. Yeah, like on dual carriageways. Obviously, when you change your lane, you have to check them. Yeah, but in general, when you're driving on a dual carriageway in the left-hand lane, yeah, do you always know what's happening around you? Do you think as a nah? Yeah, you've got to get that in. Yeah, because you don't know what's happening. So what you do is you don't check your mirrors hardly on the dual carriageway, and when we say change your lane, then you start checking your mirrors.
Yeah.
And obviously, then you're gonna need more time to assess and see what's happening. Yeah. So a good driver. So what you need to do, you need to have a lesson where your instructor is taking you on dual carriageways or in general driving and asking you what's happening behind us.
Okay.
What colour is the car? How fast is the car coming? Yeah, that's what I do with my learners. Yeah, it builds that skill of your awareness around you.
Right.
Okay, but what do? You just leave it just until that point where you have to change your lane or something. Yeah, and gives you less time. So when you're on a dual carriageway, it's what we call effective use of mirrors. So there's no point just looking in them. Yeah, look and assess what's going on. Yeah, I think there's someone like that car. When I had to hold the steering and move you to the right. Yeah. No, that was earlier. What I'm talking about when that blue car overtook us. Yeah. Okay. See, if you had checked your mirror earlier, you should have noticed he was right up behind our car. He was looking to overtake. Yeah. Okay. So when you are changing your lanes, if someone's like that, you should obviously do your mirrors, signal. Yeah. And when you signal, that doesn't mean you can just change your lane.
Okay.
Yeah. Signal, always give it about 3 seconds and see how the person around you, behind you, the other cars, the other vehicles react.
Okay.
Yeah. They can hold back or they can overtake.
Okay.
Yeah, but you've got to assess that. You're just rushing your lane changes. So signal, yeah, look, what's
And
the
then
car doing,
decide.
and then decide. That's
Okay.
missing. Okay?
So, am I ready for test or?
You're not far off. I wouldn't say if your test was tomorrow, like if your test was today, what would have happened?
Fail,
Yeah.
definitely.
But like I said, you can, these two things that we talked about, the working on those hazard perception clips
yeah.
and your awareness, just someone questioning you, what's going on behind us, what colour is the car. Yeah, if you do that for a lesson or two, that'll build up. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll improve massively. Okay.
I'll speak to my instructor.
Yeah, and the mirrors in general before you signal, yes, you're doing it. And we've already talked about mirrors on dual carriageways, yeah. Okay, but when you're just in traffic
Yeah.
or on the road on a dual carriageway, yeah,
Yeah.
and you have to move off again, yeah. Which mirror should you be checking? Do you know?
The 3 of them,
Yeah, well, at least both of the side ones, yeah. What could be
Yeah.
in the side?
left and right.
Yeah, what could be overtaking in this side gap here?
Bicycle.
Yeah, we were hardly checking them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were missing a lot. Okay, so don't be too disappointed. Obviously, it's not like you need 10, 15, 20 lessons. Yeah. Okay, this can be done honestly within about 3 or 4 lessons with the instructor teaching you correctly. Yeah. Okay. The other thing, this didn't happen all the time, but it happened near the start when we were following signs to Warsaw.
Yes.
And we were going straight ahead at the roundabout.
Yeah.
The roundabout wasn't marked too clearly.
No.
Yeah. So you started off in the left lane, which is good.
Mm.
But then once you entered the roundabout, you moved over to the right. Yeah, by about that much. Okay. So if there was nobody next to us, that's why I didn't hold the steering. But if somebody was next to us, what would have happened?
Crash. Yeah, definitely.
You got to be very strict with that. If there's no markings, doesn't mean you can just go over.
You have to imagine.
That's
the
it,
lines,
of course, yeah. But you did do that well afterwards, though. Yeah, on the bigger roundabouts where it was marked clearly, and there was another one that wasn't even marked up. You kept your position really well. But you've got to do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, you've always got to be thinking about what you're doing. Planning.
Okay.
Yeah, don't switch off at all, yeah? Okay?
Okay.
So that, and obviously we had that fault where when we moved off, we nearly hit the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was very close, yeah. Okay, well, I'll try and leave it as late as I can, yeah? But I had to come in there, because that would have definitely hit the car.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think this is the final thing now, your manoeuvre. Okay, how do you think that went? Your reversing manoeuvre.
Is that bad? I don't know.
How do you think it was?
It's okay, I think.
So, there's 3 main things that we look at when you do a manoeuvre. First is your control of the car,
Yeah.
like speed. Obviously, you started off a little bit quick, but then you
Yeah.
sorted your speed out, yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's good control of the car, especially because it was on a slight gradient, yeah?
Yeah.
The other thing we look at is your accuracy. Did you finish nice and close to the curb?
No.
You did, it was brilliant. Yeah,
Is it?
yeah. You were like, first time you're doing it in this car, and that was accuracy-wise, it was
Okay.
really good. Yeah, you could have probably come back a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Observations. That's the thing that wasn't good enough. So when you're coming back,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be looking at the back
Yeah.
a lot
on
more
the
than you
right
were. Yeah.
hand side,
Okay.
yeah.
And when you first steer to the left, yeah, and your car's going to swing out, yeah, where should you be looking?
Right hand side.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
blinds, because that's the area
blind
you can't see in
spot.
your mirrors. And
But that time the 2 cars over there,
yeah,
and they were waiting.
yeah.
So that's why I was thinking of them, and I couldn't check my blind spot.
Okay, it's good you were looking out for them as well. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you've got to be doing. It wouldn't take long just to do a blind
Okay.
spot check there. Yeah, because
Yeah.
when you swing out, remember it's not just cars. Imagine people, bikes. Yeah, they could be
Yeah.
coming from that side. Yeah, okay. And on your maneuver, you were dry steering. Look, it's not a massive deal. Yeah, you know what dry steering is?
Yeah. Just stop and
Yeah.
steering.
Yeah, if you're struggling with your maneuvers and you're doing that, okay, but long term wise, it's not very good. When you pass, it's not going to be very good for your tires, yeah,
well,
and your steering, yeah. Okay, so do you understand what you need to do now?
Yes.
Yeah, so you
more
can go
planning, more awareness.
yeah, work on your hazard perception, and when you're driving in general, what's behind me, actually assess what's going on, and that will sort out your stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I will.
So hopefully that helped you. Okay, Syeda, I just want to say thanks for doing the mock test. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to help lots of people. And guys, if you found that helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.